What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It's that time of year we get to do preview videos. I have been looking forward to this so much. It's the Lions Tour is going to be kicking us off for the next month's worth of rugby going on. For anyone who hasn't seen these previews before, what we do is we chuck on a game of Rugby 20 in the background of the teams that are going to be playing, and then more sort of on top of it, we go through the teams that have been officially announced. We go through the teams, who we think is going to work well, who we think is going to go badly, give a score prediction. We're going to go through the whole game and we'll play a game of Rugby 20 in the background, see if we can win. So this one is going to be Lions versus Japan. I have created a Lions team already, so we'll get into this game and get it kicked off. Alrighty guys, here we are at the stadium. I might let this one run a little bit longer than I usually do. This is the Lions. It comes only once every 4 years, so we might let it run a little bit, get a bit more of an experience on the go. Here we are in the corridor waiting to come out. So for anyone who hasn't seen already on the channel, I did do a really nice chat with Rugby Guru the other day. We went through what we thought about the Lions. We covered a little bit about the Japan and Lions game, but obviously by then the Japan team hadn't actually been announced, which it now has. So if you want to go back and check out that video, that's a bit more of a chilled out. We spent like a good hour or so talking about the team. This is my created Lions team, which I did a video for about a week ago or so, just generating this team so that we could actually play as these guys for Rugby 20 for when we do these preview videos. But I'm really looking forward to see how this team works out, and of course we'll be talking about the official teams over the top. There he is, Quentin Prevost, always the man on the pitch. For anyone who saw the Italian series that we did on the channel, there's only one ref in this game, still don't know why. We're looking forward to Rugby 22 coming up, so we can have some different visuals in the background while we do these. But here we are, we'll get it kicked off and underway with Dan Bigger. Let's go off to the left here and we will talk about the teams that have been announced. So obviously the Lions Tour coming up, first match is going to be this Saturday. Really looking forward to it. To anyone who's watching in Britain, this is of course is the warm-up game. This isn't officially the tour, so this is going to be shown on Channel 4 rather than Sky, so looking forward to that. A bit of free-to-air TV, so anyone who's not going to be able to catch all of the Lions games and stuff, at least you'll be able to catch this one against Japan. It's set to be a really big game because the Lions team that's been announced, the 37-man squad, wasn't the team a lot of us expected. I've done a couple of videos in the past covering who I would have picked, who I was surprised got picked when the official team came out, but there's certainly some big names that were added in here, and we didn't know where they were going to go with this one. Japan have had a really good tournament in the World Cup. They beat both Scotland and Ireland, and a couple of people had them pinned down not to beat. So Japan a no walkover game, and this is definitely going to be right up the aisle here to see whether or not the Lions team can actually get this together. So let's begin. Seeing as we are playing as the Lions, we will talk about the Lions first of all. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any cool graphics or anything. We've got this one here of Alan Wynne staring you down with the team on the screen, but we'll probably cut out Alan Wynne. We'll just focus more on the actual team that's been announced. So what is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. I'm just going to interject here because, of course, as I'm editing this video, a news article has popped up saying there have been some injuries, so it's going to completely mess up this video a little bit. So there have been a couple of changes to the team mentioned there. So basically what's happened is Xander Fagerson has picked up a twinge in his back, so Tyg Furlong is going to go from the bench. He's going to now be starting at the tight head prop position, and Kyle Sinclair is going to get in on that replacements bench, and also Hamish Watson has gone out, so that's going to change a couple of things. So they're doing a direct swap for Watson from Tipuric, who wasn't named in the side originally, so he's going to move it into that flanker position. So bear that in mind for the rest of the video, as some things I mentioned may no longer be apply, but of course that's the joy of editing after you find out news. So there we are, guys. I'll leave you back to live me. I don't know. But I'll see you back in the video, guys. Cheers for now. Bye bye. It's a strong team. As I spoke about with Guru the other day, this is a little bit of what I would call an experimental team. They haven't gone particularly safe. They obviously want to lay down a couple of footnotes going into this tournament that they're going to want to try and show off a little bit. There's a lot of forward attacking power here. So we'll start off in this front row. Rory Sutherland, Ken Owen, Xander Fagerson. Not a bad little mix up there. I think, like most people, in terms of a front row, you want to have two people out of the three that at least know each other very well. And I think Rory Sutherland and Xander Fagerson together will be able to achieve that. Ken Owens is reliable, man in the hooker position. You know his lineouts are going to be solid. The scrummaging from him is normally at a very high standard as well. Xander Fagerson, a great runner with the ball in hand, but is also absolutely solid in terms of those scrummaging. And Rory Sutherland had a really good Six Nations himself. So in all honesty, that front row looking very solid. So we should hopefully not be seeing a lot of scrummage failures there, as well as some bit of running players. Josh Adams about to run into touch. Nope, I'm pretty sure Josh Adams ran into touch in the background there. Moving on to the locks, Ian Henderson and Alwyn Jones. This was a combo I thought we'd be seeing through this Lions tournament quite a lot. Ian Henderson, of course, having a really good Six Nations himself, getting himself top of the board with some of the turnovers, some of the line-outs won. He did take over the captaincy role as well when James Ryan was out. So I think he deserved to be in this Lions team. It's probably a good note as well that a lot of the England players are going to be missing this. There's a couple of issues with England club level holding players back because of semi-finals and finals of a tournament, so some have been released. Some of them are going to be turning up basically on the day the match is being played, so there's no England players in the starting team. There is in the replacements, but that's why you probably won't find people like Maro Itoje there. They're probably more likely to go for Ian Henderson. He's been able to train with them for a week. It makes sense. Alwyn Jones, of course, the captain, will have to be in there at some point. I did actually wonder whether they wouldn't put Alwyn in this first game. I know it would be a bit sort of against the grain to pick a captain and not have him play in the actual game himself, but I actually thought they would maybe test here putting Tyke Byrne maybe in at 5 and allowing both sort of Hamish Watson and Tipuric to get on the field at the same time. See if Tipuric could get used to playing that number 6 a little bit more. They haven't gone for that. They've gone for Alwyn as captain, which a lot of people would expect. Going to have that number 5 channel. That's where he plays. That's where he's best at. He had an alright Six Nations in all honesty. Started out very strong in terms of the gameplay from him. And we know how well he is as a captain, being able to talk to the referees and stuff. He's going to be a bit of a vital player in there. So I think it's a good move from there. Tyke Byrne, Hamish Watson and Jack Conan in the 6, 7, 8. This is a powerful back row set right here. Tyke Byrne had a phenomenal Six Nations. He was my player of the tournament. Standing alongside him, the official player of the tournament, Hamish Watson. Another brilliant player. One thing I notice here is going to be the amount of jackling opportunities they have here. Ian Henderson, Tyke Byrne and Hamish Watson all in the top 5 of the Six Nations for turnovers. So I think these guys are going to be able to get in there on the ground. So Japan are going to have to work really hard in order to maintain having that possession themselves. I think they're going to have to work really hard at the breakdown to not concede penalties and stuff. They've got a lot of vital players in this Lions team now. Tyke Byrne also good in the line-outs as well. I mean, it's very good all round. And Jack Conan taking 8. I would imagine a couple of people would be surprised not to see Faletau there. I would say, given the team that was announced, Faletau might actually be the sort of number 1 choice at number 8. But Jack Conan, I think, is a very good player. He flew under my radar a little bit. Reece Zammit having a fantastic run here in the background. Jack Conan had a fantastic Six Nations as well. He did fly under my radar. I didn't pick him for my team. But he's a very good number 8. Can also play flanker if you need him to. But a great big ball carrier going from the back of scrums and mauls. We know how well he can do. Get himself in a ruck there. And we know how much Faletau likes to play on the wing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes on in that second half when players are a little bit more tired. Get to have some ball in hand for Faletau. Faletau probably moving out further onto the wing when he's on the field as well. So 1 to 8 looking very solid. I mean, the scrummaging should work well. There's a lot of very good line-out players in there. And the turnover and breakdown areas are going to be super strong for them. We'll quickly check out the backs here. Conor Murray, Dan Biggar, the combos were going to be a big issue for this Lions team. Who was going to play scrum half? Who was going to take fly half? How are they going to work? Were they going to stay with 2 Welsh people? Were they going to go Gareth Davis or Dan Biggar? Or were they going to mix it up? Conor Murray and Dan Biggar for me is going to be maybe their go-to throughout the rest of the tournament. Oh, I thought I could have maybe stolen a try there. I think this will be used in the South Africa games later on. I think Conor Murray and Dan Biggar will work quite well together. They're both very set at number 9 and number 10. You know what both of them is going to do. Dan Biggar has the ability to look around where he goes. We know the skill level of Conor Murray to not just run with the ball in hand, but also box kicking and general play is very solid. And I actually think Dan Biggar can change a little bit to work quite a lot like Sexton, so it won't be too much of a hard switch for Conor Murray. I actually think it's a really good combo pairing there. Moving further back onto the wing, Duhan van der Merwe getting in. A couple of people again surprised to see Duhan van der Merwe straight in. Makes sense to me. He's a big boy. We talk about the Japanese size of a lot of their players, not the tallest lads in the world, not the most weighty. Duhan van der Merwe got the most line breaks or tackle breaks, in the Six Nations, so it makes sense that he's going to be the smash ball carrier on that wing. I don't know who's going to be going on the main task of wanting to stop him, but I wouldn't want to be on that right wing for Japan. Going to be a big game. I'm expecting to see him wanting to get tries in this game. Hopefully his defensive work has improved from the Six Nations, just to make him that little bit more of an all-round player. The centre partnership, Bundyaki, Robbie Henshaw, the Irish duo, worked well together, have played in the past, know how to work together. I like seeing Robbie Henshaw at 13 in the outside centre channel. I think it works better. Bundyaki is going to be your go-forwards guy. I think they'll work well together. I think it's a good partnership in the centre. Josh Adams taking that right wing and Liam Williams at fullback. So again, when we talk about partnerships, we've got the partnerships here in the front row with Rory Sutherland and Xander Fagerson. You've got that back row pairing, Tyg Byrne and Jack Conan, who will have played well together. Bundyaki and Robbie Henshaw in the centres have played together, and Josh Adams and Liam Williams. So there's definitely pairings being made in here of which way they're going to work together. You've also got Josh Adams and Dan Biggett, who played together in the Wales team. We got to see how well they can be used when they have the crossfield kick we saw in the Wales-England game. That worked very well for them. So I would be expecting to see sort of similar angles to that. It's surprising to see Josh Adams on that right wing. Because he normally gets to follow up on that left wing. I did think maybe Zammit could have got in here. But overall, a 1-15 looking very, very strong. We have, of course, got into halftime here in the game in the background. I'm doing some subs just to mix it up. We want to try and get this team a little bit bigger as we're going through and not let fatigue kick in. So we'll quickly talk about the replacements before moving on, talking about Japan. So Jamie George coming on that replacements bench. Luke Cowan-Dickey. There's a bit of an issue around some of the England players I haven't been able to follow up particularly closely, who was available, who wasn't, because of their club level duties. But Jamie George will come in there. I think the set out for this team is going to be the main 15 are going to be attacking power runners going forward. They're looking for possession for the first half and the territory. And then the replacements that are coming on are going to bring speed and ball carrying with them. Jamie George, we know, likes the ball in hand as well. You know, he's quite similar to Luke Cowan-Dickey in that way. So it makes sense to me. Wyn Jones and Tyg Furlong have both been good ball carriers in the Six Nations. They'll be coming on in the prop replacements. Tyg Furlong, big man in scrums, big man running with the ball in hand. But Wyn Jones, also very good on the breakdown situation. We've seen the turnovers coming in from him as well, especially in the first 2 or 3 games of the Six Nations. I think it'll work well. They'll come on at some point and just reinforce that team. Courtney Laws can go in either at lock or flanker, wherever you need him to. He's a big, tall lad. Give some big tackles in there. So versatility coming in there, along with the team already announced. Ian Henderson can play 4 or 5. Tyg Byrne can play 4, 5, 6. So they will switch up depending on how they need to in the actual game. Faletau, like I've already said, will probably come on at some point in that number 8. Whether Jack Conan will be a direct swap, or whether Jack Conan will come on and move to number 6 after Faletau comes on at 8, we'll be leaving to see. Ali Price, it'd be nice to see him get some game time on. I do like Ali Price. I like seeing him play when he gets a little bit more running ball in hand. I wouldn't actually be surprised here if they do Colin Murray literally for the first half and then do Ali Price for the second half. See how the pairing works up. I would maintain that Dan Bigger's probably going to remain the main fly half for the Lions tour, so I think they'll want to work out whether Colin Murray or Ali Price works best with him. There isn't Gareth Davis, of course, who plays well together. Let's see if we can try and stop this this breakdown from happening here. I don't want to concede a try in this game. Owen Farrell will come on at some point. I actually imagine he might come on for Bundyaki rather than Dan Bigger, unless it's to avoid injury. I don't think we'll see a lot of Owen Farrell playing 10 throughout this tournament. I much prefer him to see him at 12, and I can't really see Warren Gatland wanting to go down the Owen Farrell route at 10 when he knows he has both Finn Russell and Dan Bigger there. And finally, Anthony Watson will come on, the speedster, the man with a good sidestep, who's playing on the wing. Didn't get this try, coming up now, but he was waiting for it there. But he had a very good Six Nations, actually. Anthony Watson's been one of those players I've ummed and ahed about quite a lot, along with sort of Johnny May on the English wings, not performing to the best standard in the world. So it's nice to see him have a good Six Nations, and he actually really did. That right wing looking good for him. Where will he go? I'm not sure. I actually wonder whether he might either do a direct swap for Josh Adams, or you could see him come on and Duan van der Merwe come off. However, I imagine Anthony Watson will move to the right wing, and then Josh Adams would move back to his own left wing. Again, quite surprising to not just start it with Anthony Watson on the right wing to begin with, and then that way, if Josh Adams is comfortable to play both wings, he could have replaced either Van der Merwe or Anthony Watson later in the game. They both have speed, they both have similar styles. We say, as Josh Adams here, running under the post. Can he make it all the way? Yes, he can. But I think that's going to work well for them. I think this team 1 through 23 is going to work really well. It's a very strong looking team, and this will definitely be a sort of statement game. I can see the Lions team wanting to push this for a win, absolutely. So we need to talk about the people they're going to be up against. It's going to be Japan. So let's have a look at this Japan team. So the Japan team, of course, had a really successful World Cup. By most people's standards, they managed to beat both Ireland and Scotland. Of course, that game going back to the South Africa game was their real sort of big breakthrough game that they all wanted. So Japan have still got a lot to prove. I haven't followed up too much on the Japan international team, how many of them have been playing, if they've actually been able to play games since then because of the whole lockdown situation and what have you. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team can gel together again. There will be a lot of players coming from that World Cup team. A couple of people will have, of course, gone. The winger will have retired now. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Any of my Japanese listeners, I will butcher a whole bunch of names, so get rid of this. But Fukuoka, he retired. He was the winger who was very, very good in the team. But a lot of their players are still going to be remaining. So let's check out this Japan team on screen. So like I said, a couple of people that are going to be coming through here from the World Cup. There's going to be Michael Leach, of course, the captain, as he was in the World Cup. He's going to be pushing very hard in this game now as well to try and keep that Japan team going forward. Mafi and Labu Sagne, again, another name I'm going to butcher an awful lot through this video. Be ready for that. Are two big boys. So their back rows are looking to compete an awful lot with the Lions back rows now. So they've met size with size. The Japan team, as we've said before, size used to be their downfall. It's begun to sort of run out of that cliche a little bit now because their team is beginning to get so much bigger in terms of size. A couple of other lads in there. Van der Vaalt is the lock, who is also really tall. I think he's got to be in his 30s now, Van der Vaalt, playing in that Japan team. But he's a big boy as well in terms of the lock department. So size certainly not really an issue. And a couple of their front rows there, you know, especially people like Koo, they're big boys. They're not going to be backing down at scrums. I would probably say that the Lions' weight will probably be more. In terms of the scrummaging, we'll have to wait till the game stats for that one because I won't be able to prove that one. But looking further back, Fifita is a very solid wing, as well as Matsushima, who a lot of people will remember from that World Cup, really beginning to show off. Matsushima getting into his own on that right wing. I definitely prefer him on the right wing. I believe he can play both, but he prefers that number 14 shirt. Lafayette playing very well in that centre channel recently, so I'm looking forward to see how he's going to get on in this international team and move in to actually face a Lions team that's going to be looking to be dominant. And then the fullback Yamanaka. So there's a lot of players going on here that are going to be looking to make a big show going through here. This has got a lot to actually do with their performance going forward. Whether they win or lose to this Lions team is going to be the big one for them. They do have games going forward now into July, and they'll be wanting to get back on the train now and not just show they just turned up for their own World Cup, but they've got a lot to prove themselves. Looking at the backs, unfortunately, I'm not going to know a great deal of these backs. Matsuda, I believe I know the name of, but a couple of these people I'm not going to know. I think face is a little bit better for me to go on than some of the names here. But a solid team going in here. So what do we think in terms of prediction for this game? To me, I would say the Lions are definitely going to have probably the stronger team out of the two. But then again, I said that for both the Ireland and Scotland games in the World Cup. So who knows, Japan can be looking to surprise here. I did have a look at some of the betting odds just before I made this video. Japan are currently about 14-1 to win this game, which I thought was a little bit harsh. Or maybe that was to win by a certain amount. I believe it was just a win. So I think bookies have definitely got the Lions favourite for this. And of course, they will have been able to train for a long time together. All of them have played in the Six Nations. So for me, I think the Lions team's looking stronger. I'm going to call the Lions to win this one by about 22. I'm going to say that's going to be my big call for the game. Normally I get these way off or bang on. There's no real in between. So that's going to be my prediction. But of course, I am but one man on the internet. So make sure you drop down in the comments who you're expecting to win, who you think is going to score tries. How do you think the points difference is going to be? It's going to be really interesting. For anyone who hasn't already joined up to the Lions Predictor, this isn't going to be included in the Predictor game because this is a warm-up, as we see Anthony Watson going for the try. I've been watching too much boxing recently. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes on in just a warm-up game. This won't be included in the predictor that's going to be going on. So for anyone who wants to get involved with that predictor, there is still time to jump on. I will, of course, link that video down in the description for you guys so you can check out that video. If you want to get involved, joining the other subscribers, a couple of people have already signed up. We're up to like 7 people now in the group. It's a lot of fun to get involved with. You pick the score difference to see who you think's going to win. But it's going to be a great test test. It's going to be interesting to see how this Lions team can work together. A lot of new faces who haven't played together. A lot are going to be joining up, and it'd be nice to see the Japan team get on. I'm hoping for Japan to get a couple of tries in there. Matsushima, we know the speed he has. Hopefully he can show off a little bit and definitely try and get himself a try in there. But I'm sure this Lions team is going to be looking to impress. So hopefully everyone's looking forward to the Lions. Going to be on this weekend. This is going to be on Channel 4, so it is going to be free to view this first game. But I believe it's going to be on Sky from there. But hopefully you've all enjoyed this video today, guys. I'm really looking forward to the Lions. If you have enjoyed this video, remember to drop this video a like and subscribe to the channel, because I am going to be doing these preview videos for all of the Lions tour as it's coming up. I hope you've all enjoyed today, guys. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.